Warning, this program is entirely fictional and made by a sole Canadian man. All characters and events in the show, including the host, even those that are based on real people, are entirely fictional. The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
America, the land of the free, home of the brave, and the stupid, and the criminally insane. The United States has seen its fair share of gangbangers, mobsters, and psychotics who've roamed our beloved streets, causing untold chaos, destruction, and corruption. Tonight on Grand Theft Auto Biographies. Some say that crime doesn't pay, and while many hardened criminals across the globe would strongly disagree, sometimes sayings have a way of making themselves true, and tonight is no exception. We will follow the arrival, theft, and attempted sale numerous times of a shipment of drugs which was stolen more times in 2008 by different parties than the American electoral system. We will see deals, police traps, and revenge served as cold as it comes, as we watch several gangs across multiple states scramble to hold on to and offload this seemingly cursed shipment. In this, the second of our January specials, we here at GTAB will regale you with the story of a biker gang, a vengeful Serb, and a cornered pair of business partners, as they wove their way through encounter after encounter, all inadvertently linked together through their struggle to buy, sell, or destroy one product: the heroin. Similar to our last episode in which we explored the arrival, sale, and eventual acquisition by a homeless man of several valuable diamonds, the subject of tonight's episode is not a man, but a valuable and highly illegal commodity: street drugs. As if by some cosmic coincidence, the product being discussed tonight also arrived aboard the very same ship as the diamonds, the Platypus out of Eastern Europe, also carrying a subject of another past episode who played a large role in the story of the heroin, Niko Bellic. And so, just like the diamonds, our story starts at the docks of East Hook, in the dead of night, as crews work to unload the H, loaded into a benefactor shafter for future sale. Smuggled in by the Liberty City Triads, the product was meant to be sold in bulk, but at some unknown point was stolen by the LC chapter of the Angels of Death, a notorious criminal biker gang, with their intention being to sell it on the streets in small quantities. Already stolen, conjecturally only days after arriving in Liberty, the journey of the H was only just beginning, as elsewhere in the city, the main rivals of the AOD would see their old president released from rehab, with an aching to start a new gang war under false pretenses. Having heard about the heroin's arrival through the criminal grapevine, Italian mafioso Ray Bacino would contact the lost president Billy Gray to propose a job involving robbing the AOD of the heroin they themselves had stolen off the Triads.
Johnny, you met Ray?
Hey.
Ray Bocino?
Hey.
My brother, Johnny. Johnny the Jew.
Johnny the Jew, how the hell are you? Do me a favor, help keep this degenerate out of jail, all right? At least until he's paid me.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, later.
What's he selling you?
Toys, my boy, toys. Now, come on, let's go.
Man, where we going, Bill?
Pay somebody a visit.
Billy, man, please don't be a dick.
Johnny, you seem a little tense lately. Have you considered some analysis? Maybe a day spa? High colonic?
Colonic.
Freshly released and eager to pick a fight with the Angels of Death due to a conflict surrounding his old motorcycle, Billy Gray of the Lost MC would order an attack on the AOD clubhouse in North Holland, giving the excuse to his vice president Johnny Klebitz that the Angels had been responsible for the death of their friend and fellow Lost member Jason Michaels, who had in reality been killed by Niko Bellic on orders from Mikhail Faustin. Johnny would smoke out the Angels by firing a grenade through their front window, and after cleaning up the thugs as they rushed to escape the building, Billy, Johnny, and the Lost Chapter Acting Lieutenant Brian Jeremy would enter the clubhouse to find the near $2 million worth of heroin neatly packed into 2 bags, which the Lost promptly steal after debate regarding the consequences between Johnny and Billy.
Pack it up, Johnny.
Wait, I don't understand.
What?
I thought this was payback for Jason, man. What the fuck is this?
$2 million in arm candy is as good a payback as I can think of. Come on,
Jesus,
brother.
but hold your fucking horses, man. Now we're gonna steal their smack? Slow down.
Slow down, huh? Hold up. Wait.
Jesus. Physics lesson, fuckball. Do you know how motorcycles work, do you, Johnny?
You about to get schooled.
Centrifugal inertia. Meaning, the quicker your wheels go, the more stable you are. The faster we go, the harder we hit it, the more us brothers pull together. That's why we do what we do. That's how we do what we do. Why? How? They're the same fucking thing.
We go faster, longer, and harder. And that's how we stay together.
Brian, shut up.
What the fuck are you talking about? You gotta stop reading them shitty internet sites, man, and start thinking about what you're doing to us. We lift this shit right now, and every deadbeat on the East Coast is gonna come after our chapter.
Well, that's something your leader will have to worry about, not you, soldier. Brian, grab the shit.
Seeking to eliminate Johnny in a way which would leave his image intact amongst the other lost brothers, Billy Gray would at this time strike up a deal with the original owners of the H, the LC Triads, after the Angels spill the beans that the Lost lifted it off of them. Presumably the deal was for the Triads to retrieve their stolen product in exchange for killing both Johnny Klebitz and Jim Fitzgerald, who was more loyal to Klebitz than Billy, allowing Billy to consolidate his power and remain the uncontested king of his criminal realm. Billy would meet with a Triad boss and arrange for the betrayal, before luring in Johnny and Jim as part of their supposed deal to sell the H. Despite retrieving their heroin from the Lost, the Triads would fail to kill Klebitz or Fitzgerald, and may have even double-crossed Billy by alerting the police to the deal, resulting in the arrest of Billy Gray, who blamed it squarely on Johnny.
Put your hands in the air. Now!
Fuck you, Johnny! You're dead!
Shut your goddamn mouth! Shut your mouth!
Dead!
Shut up!
Once again in possession of their own product, the Triads would at this point become heavily paranoid and even superstitious regarding this particular shipment of heroin, believing it to be cursed due to having already been stolen twice. Across Liberty City and Alderney states, the Triads would attempt to locate a buyer, any buyer, for supposedly any price, to take the cursed drugs off their hands and wring their hands of the entire affair. Sometime later, still trying to find a buyer, word of the Triads H would spread far enough to reach the ears of Pegorino family associate Phil Bell, and through Ray Bacino, Phil would hire independent contractor Nico Bellic to find and steal the heroin for the fourth time in weeks, and prove to the Triads that it really was cursed. Nico would ambush the Triads' factory and cut through their forces, before finding the truck carrying the goods and running after it in the streets of suburban Alderney. Eventually, Nico would manage to clamber aboard the truck and dispatch the driver, taking the product to a safe house in West Dyke, where it was to be watched by Phil Bell's nephew, Frankie Gallo. Eventually, Bell would contact Nico again to try and move the heroin to a new location, when the three men are ambushed by an LCPD task force who had been watching the H the entire time, forcing them on a chase through the streets of Alderney to escape the authorities, and finally stash the product at a new safe house in Leftwood, where it would remain until a new buyer was finally found. Nico Bellic would again be contacted later by the Pegorino boss himself, Jimmy Pegorino, who would ask Bellic personally to participate in a final sale of the heroin to the Russian mafia under Dmitry Raskolov. An offer which creates a great deal of conflict within Nico, who had history with Raskolov and a strong desire for revenge against him and the rest of the Russian mafia.
I need you to collect that H. I got some Russians who have a buyer.
Russians?
Yeah. Dmitry Raskolov.
Mo, we've got these three.
I know. But this is real. I need you.
Real? What the fuck is real? Real because it's you?
Real because it's my last chance.
Then good luck.
No. I need you to get that H. I need the money. I looked out for you, you know, people wanted to whack you, I said no. Now I need you, and I'll pay a lot of money.
Listen, Mr. Pegorino, I already told you, I got history.
No, you listen, you dumb immigrant fuck. I ain't asking you, I'm telling you, do this. Get over your principles. These guys don't hold grudges. Do it or you and me are gonna have a problem. Look, Phil will look after you. You won't even have to deal with the fucking Russians. He's waiting for you down in Tudor.
All right.
I knew I could count on you. Hey, how about that drink?
In our episode on Nico Bellic, we explained that while some people believe that Nico accepted this offer, it is the opinion of this program that the outcome with more evidence supporting it is that Nico in fact declined the offer, and upon learning of Dmitry's location, ambushed the Platypus, where the Russians were holding the H, and killed Raskolov in an act of vengeance for the death of his lover, Kate McCreary. among other trouble that Dimitri caused for Bellic and his cousin Roman. Regardless of what happened between Niko Bellic, Dmitry Raskolov, and Jimmy Pecorino, the product would eventually be stolen a final time by Ray Bulgarin, an associate of Raskolov's who also had deep ties to the Russian organized crime in the city. Seeking to offload the H himself, Bulgarin would order it to be moved to Funland on Firefly Island, but having previously made an enemy of nightclub managers Tony Prince and Luis Lopez, his plans too would soon come unraveled. Previously, Luis Lopez had worked for Bulgarin as a mercenary, but eventually the Russian mobster would learn that Lopez and Prince had been involved in the sale of a group of valuable diamonds, which also arrived in Liberty City aboard the Platypus. Seeking to get even with Tony and Luis for supposedly stealing from him, Bulgarin would attempt to have Luis killed in an ambush atop a roof, but when that failed, he would leave himself open to retaliation from the pair, more specifically Luis, who was a considerable force of nature much like Niko Bellic or Johnny Klebitz in his heyday. Luis Lopez, knowing that his life and his friend Tony's life remained in danger so long as Bulgarin remained alive, would go to Funland on his own and massacre scores of Bulgarin's men before confronting Ray's right-hand man, Timur, and killing him as well.
You and all your friends are dead!
Yeah, that ain't happening, Timmy.
During the fight, Lopez would intentionally destroy all of the remaining heroin, which had been stored in duck-shaped bins around the amusement park for presumably discretion's sake. Lopez would go on to kill Ray Bulgarin himself, but the H, along with numerous people involved in its acquisition and sale, on several occasions, were gone forever. Perhaps the Triads were accurate in their assessment of the drugs being cursed, or perhaps sometimes the universe just gets a sense of humor. Regardless, just as was the case with the diamonds from our previous episode, many of the people involved with the H would eventually end up dead, due to conflicts surrounding it from bikers to mob bosses, including but not limited to, former president of the Alderney chapter of the Lost MC, Billy Gray, former acting lieutenant of the Alderney chapter of the Lost, Brian Jeremy, possibly the nephew of Italian mobster Phil Bell, Frankie Gallo, although this could not be confirmed with 100% accuracy. Former treasurer of the Alderney chapter of the Lost, Jim Fitzgerald, although his death was technically connected closer to the diamond fiasco. Head of the Alderney-based Italian mob, the Pecorino family, Jimmy Pecorino. Head of the Liberty City Russian Mafia, Dmitry Raskolov. Lieutenant to Ray Bulgarin, Timur, and eventually, Ray Bulgarin himself, as well as dozens of soldiers fighting for the Lost, the Triads, the Angels of Death, the Russian Mafia, and the Pecorino family. Depending on how the deaths are categorized, it is easy to assume at least 50 or more people, mostly criminal foot soldiers, would see their lives cut short due to the botched sale of this heroin shipment, but depending on who you ask, this number could be even higher. While it is unknown exactly how many deaths could be accurately attributed to the H, unlike the diamonds, in the end, nobody would see profit from it, as the product was eviscerated in a cloud of smoke and bullets, along with most of the people who ever laid hands on it. And so, dear viewer, we return to our earlier inquiry. Does crime pay? Well, you can be the judge of that. For the many individuals involved in this particular criminal escapade, the answer seems to be a vague sometimes. But from this reporter's perspective, it might as well be a resounding no, a conclusion that seems inevitable to our team here at GTA Biographies when we examine the sheer number of bodies which stacked up during our investigations, only for the very source of the conflict to be completely destroyed. America is a dangerous place, folks. You can never be too sure what your taxi driver is doing at night when you exit the vehicle. They could be making midnight deals with dangerous communists at the docks while you sleep. Stay vigilant, you proud Americans, for you never know what nefarious element of crime will try to wiggle its way into your everyday life next. I'll see you next time for our final special of 2022, where we will finally take a closer look at our subjects from Season 1 and answer the question of who is the deadliest. This has been Grand Theft Auto Biographies with me, your host, Guiness Walker. Thank you for watching.